So the Game Awards just ended, and it ended in a very unexpected way. Run the clip.
Hey, Matan. You know, real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi, Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Yeah, I really never expected Bill Clinton to be mentioned at the Game Awards. And that kid, or whoever that person is, the tweet will be put up right here. Yeah, that kid's been arrested. I don't know what the story is behind that person, but I find that very interesting because the person doesn't work for Bandai Namco. So how did that person get up there? A lot of questions, but that's not what's important right now. The Game Awards has just ended, and I've always been pretty critical, I feel like, with the Game Awards, as it's something that I'm very passionate about when it comes to the Game Awards. I've seen every show. I saw it when it was on Spike as a kid. I actually remember the day that I saw the Game Awards for the very first time. So I have seen every show live, and I feel like a lot of them, ever since, like, I want to say 2018, all of them have been getting worse and worse each year. And I feel like this year there was issues. However, I think this year was a major upgrade compared to the last few years that we've gotten with the Game Awards. I think one of the things with the Game Awards is it always has too many announcements, a lot of the same games, CGI trailers, no gameplay when it comes to their announcements, and they focus more on these world premieres rather than the actual Game Awards. And to me, I feel like that's a major disrespect towards these game developers. As, you know, it's called the Game Awards, not the game announcements. And I know that that's their big push to get people to watch it, but it's really felt like the last few years that they've not cared about the awards. And I think they did better this year caring about the awards, but they still discredited a lot of these categories. But they also did the announcements very well this year. There was still an issue that I have with the announcements. I think they still put too many announcements in the Game Awards because, like, the show started off great. The show was amazing, like, with how they did announcements, awards, the flow was perfect. I feel like when we got to that last hour, I was starting to see a repeat of how they do the previous Game Awards, where it's just so much thrown at you, you can't process it. Wow, you're bored because there's so many games thrown at you. You just can't process a lot of it. They should take a lot of this year's progress in terms of the flow, and then look at their previous years, like some of their early years, combine those two performances into one thing for next year, and I think we could have a really good Game Awards show next year when it comes to announcements, awards, everything. But we need to talk about some of the things that was announced. Like I said, there was a lot of things announced here, so I'm gonna be giving you the highlights of some of my things that I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Did not expect that. So there's gonna be things that a lot of you are gonna be like, why didn't you talk about that? It's just we have so much to talk about, and I don't want to make a 30-minute video talking about the Game Awards. So let's get into some of these things that happened at the Game Awards. Okay, so this is something I was just not expecting. I don't know if this was leaked or anything, but I never thought this company would be at the Game Awards because of the history that the Game Awards has with this company. And that game that we're going to be talking about, Dead Cells, which Game Awards has no problem with the Dead Cells indie team. It's Konami. They have I mean, to me, it seems like there was a very apparent issue between Konami and the Game Awards when Konami did not let Hideo Kojima show up to the Game Awards. And Jeff Keighley made that known. I always felt like those two were never going to get along. But here they are. They're the very first game announcement towards the Game Awards. It's Dead Cells meets Castlevania in the form of a DLC. The trailer looked absolutely awesome. It was this cool animated trailer, and it's DLC that's coming out in the first quarter of next year, I think. I don't think there was a release date, but very unexpected. I know a lot of people are going to go crazy over that, especially since it's Castlevania. Yeah, Dead Cells. I've never played Dead Cells, but I thought that was very cool to see a crossover from a major game company, or major game IP with an indie IP. You don't see that often, and I want to see it more. So, to me, this was pretty cool. So, they made a Hellboy video game just now. They just announced it. I've never seen the movies as a kid. I know about the comic book because Back in the day, back in like 2016 Max era, I hung around a comic book store pretty much a lot of my week. I was at this comic book store, so I learned a lot about comic books. And this franchise is something that I learned a little bit about from one of the comic book owners. And when I saw part of this game being announced, I already knew what it was before like 90% of the world, because I saw the art style, I saw the arm, and I think this game looks very cool with its art style because it looks exactly like the comic book. Hopefully my editor can show an image of what a page from the comics looks like, and then show the gameplay of what was shown off to us. To me, this game looks very cool, and I think it's very cool that it's following this art style that's in the comic book. That's just so cool, and it looks beautiful, and it's coming to all platforms, even Switch, which kind of surprises me because the game looks graphically amazing. And yeah, I think this is something I'll definitely pick up. Among Us was here with a hide and seek mode, which to me very much reminds me of Dead by Daylight. To me, this is Among Us crossover with Dead by Daylight, because if you, at least the gameplay footage that they showed at the Game Awards, all of this reminds me more of Dead by Daylight rather than hide and seek, because there's a lot of things that you're supposed to do, the killer is faster, a lot of this reminds me of Dead by Daylight. Still very cool. It's a free update that comes out tomorrow, so I'll definitely be playing that. Did not really expect Nintendo to have a presence here at the Game Awards. It's good that they were here, because I probably wouldn't have done a video on this if Nintendo wasn't here, because we are a Nintendo channel, but it's also a very important event to cover, so I don't know what I would have done if this wasn't here. But they announced a Bayonetta game. Yes, I know, another Bayonetta game. Bayonetta 4? No, I'm joking, it wasn't Bayonetta 4. It was Bayonetta Origins. And it comes out in March of this next year. And I couldn't believe that we were getting another Bayonetta game so soon. And it's going to be available physically and digitally. At least with the trailer, they made it sound like there's going to be a physical copy. So it's not DLC, it's a full-on game. It's a prequel with new gameplay, like totally different gameplay style and art style to the Bayonetta series. Showing you Bayonetta before she becomes Bayonetta, basically. So it's coming out in March. Definitely did not expect another Bayonetta game so soon, let alone, I guess this would be a spin-off is what you would call this. I didn't think Bayonetta was going to be big enough to get spin-offs. So it's very cool to see something that started off as a game that nobody ever thought would get a sequel end up getting spin-offs. Very cool to see that. Completely missed this one. I got this list, so we're going to be going out of order most likely, but I'm trying to stay in order. Hades 2. I literally just got back from work when this trailer happened, so I did not get to see the full trailer, but I saw part of it. It's a female protagonist, and it's coming out, or I think they showed a release date. I think I heard Jeff Keighley say, though, that there's going to be a beta soon for Hades 2, which to me is mind-blowing because this is an indie team. It feels like, to me, Hades just came out, but if you really think about it, Hades has been out for over 2 years, which is absolutely crazy. That game feels like it came out last year. That is crazy. But we're getting a Hades 2, and that's very exciting. I just need to beat Hades 1, but the game is so difficult because rogue games, brutal. They're fun, but they're brutal, man. Brutal. I'm very pumped for this, though. Very unexpected. This is something I really didn't expect to be announced till, like, I want to say till another 3 years from now. Whenever this game comes out, I'm surprised that it was here. It looks awesome, though. Good job. Good job. So I want to talk about this just for a few seconds. The Suicide Squad game has finally gotten a release date for May 2023, and this game looks amazing from the cutscenes. Still wanting to know what the gameplay looks like because we haven't really seen much gameplay, and this potentially could be a very unique game. I just need to see more gameplay of this. Because it's a difficult task to do some of these characters that they have in this game. So I'm very pumped to see more of this game. It's something I'm definitely picking up day one. And they also announced that Kevin Conroy, may he rest in peace, is going to be playing Batman in this game. It will be his last performance as Batman. So it sounds like he already finished recording all his lines before he passed away. So yeah, and they did a nice tribute to him with this trailer, so that was very awesome. I am very much excited to play this game, and it's gonna be awesome seeing Kevin Conroy play Batman one last time. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of this trailer, but it's something I gotta talk about because it's something I'm interested in. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was shown off. They actually had the actor that plays the character in there. I didn't get to see the trailer because the people I was watching the Game Awards with was so freaking loud. I couldn't hear anything, and it was hard to pay attention to the trailer, but it was here. It's coming out March of next year, I think is what they said, and the game looks nice from everything that I've seen. Definitely one to look out for. It's probably going to be a nominee for next year's Game Awards because the game looks that great. The first one was amazing. The sequel's going to be amazing. This is definitely going to be a nominee for next year. Calling it now. Okay, this is one that I'm like so pumped to talk about. I'm not even a Nintendo channel, or wait, I am a Nintendo channel, hold on. I'm not even a PlayStation channel, and I'm so pumped to talk about this. This is now my most anticipated game. So one of my favorite games of all time is Death Stranding. A lot of people think I'm joking, but I love Death Stranding to death. I mean, it has death in the title. But Death Stranding, in my honest opinion, has one of the best messages in a video game. I think its gameplay, if you realize the true purpose of its gameplay, I think the gameplay of the game is absolutely amazing. The storyline is amazing. Just everything about the game was amazing. And it's an experience that I will never forget. I never thought we would get a Death Stranding sequel. Like, never, ever, because there was this whole theory going around was that the game actually sell well. Like, there was numbers of the game doing well, but it was when the game went on sale that the game did so well. So there was a lot of people wondering, was this a success for PlayStation? Are we going to get a sequel? It just doesn't make sense. And then here we are, Game Awards. They showed a trailer of Death Stranding 2, and me and my friends, well, it was just 3 of us that only played the game. Me, Trent, and Nike. We were watching it. We were ready when we saw it. We all knew. We saw the font. We were like, oh my gosh, it's Death Stranding. We saw Fragile there. I immediately was like, oh my gosh. You know, for a split second, I thought it was like Monsters, Inc. the game or something because of, they were showing these toys and I just thought of Monsters, Inc. But then I was like, wait, it's Death Stranding. They showed Sam Porter Bridges as an old man. This game is going to be awesome. Death Stranding 2. I'm so pumped. This was honestly the highlight for me for the Game Awards because I was able to watch this with my friends. We were all freaking out, where the 9 other people we were watching the Game Awards with was like, huh? What's this? What is this? A lot of people that hate on Death Stranding stopped 2 hours into the game. So yeah, I'm very pumped for this. I can't wait. Hideo Kojima, you're the GOAT. He was there to announce this. I'm so pumped. There was a remix of BB's theme from Death Stranding. I gotta listen to that again because yeah, I'm so pumped for Death Stranding 2. I'm so pumped. This game is gonna be awesome. This game, like, I know so many people are probably not gonna care, but I'm very pumped for that. That was a big highlight for me because I just didn't think a sequel to Death Stranding would happen, and to hear Hideo Kojima say that he rewrote the game after the pandemic happened really has me interested in the game because if you play Death Stranding, that game talks about a pandemic, basically. A pandemic did happen, and I just can't wait to see what he did to this game because we witnessed the pandemic, so I'm pumped. Tekken 8 had its first gameplay footage. I'm pumped for it, but I'm really hoping they bring back Negan because that was my main in Tekken 7. I know that's not going to happen because it's The Walking Dead, it's a guest character, but if they bring him back, I'll probably play Tekken 8. Or maybe they'll put it on the Switch. I'm joking, they're not going to put Tekken on the Switch. Okay, so this was kind of unexpected. They made it seem like they were playing a commercial in the middle of the Game Awards, and it was Fire Emblem Engage, and they were showing footage that we had already seen, and then all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, by the way, guys, we got an expansion pack coming out, and then they showed all this footage of the DLC for Fire Emblem Engage, and I knew this game would get DLC eventually, but I think Nintendo did this in a terrible way. Terrible. They announced that this DLC, the first part of the DLC pack, comes out the day that the game comes out. I can't recall Nintendo ever having like a big DLC pack dropping the same day that a big first party game comes out. I know this is very common for games to do this, but I don't recall Nintendo ever doing this. I know they've had paid DLC come out with other games the day that these games come out. but it's like small DLC. This, from what the trailer showed, this looks like it's a very big deal, and they're selling this as DLC day one. I don't like this from Nintendo. It's very un-Nintendo-like in my opinion, but they got the Three Houses characters joining Fire Emblem Engage as DLC. This is just going to be a joke that I'm making. They showed Diablo 4, but what they were actually showing you was footage of Blizzard HQ and Activision HQ as an employee. As you see, it was very painful in the opening of the trailer. They had this guy walking barefoot on lava. This is definitely what it was like to work for Blizzard and Activision, and they just wanted to show you guys in form of Diablo 4 of what it's like being an employee over there. So I guess it was good for them to show us that, because a lot of people don't realize, and I've not bought an Activision game since that controversy came out. I just don't feel comfortable playing Activision or Blizzard games just yet, because I feel like a lot of things have not been fixed over there, and yeah, we'll see what happens when Xbox fully owns the company. Maybe we'll see change over there. But until now, I'm not going to buy anything. They showed Diablo was coming out June next year, but I don't care. I don't care about Activision anymore. The Mario movie, they showed a lot of Mario movie footage here. I am worried that they're showing too much footage. I feel like this whole movie is going to get leaked by the time April 7th here. But it looks beautiful. The trailer, or not even trailer, it was a clip. This movie is going to be amazing, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. This clip that they showed was gorgeous. It felt like Mario. It was awesome. It really feels like we're getting something good here. Crash got a new game, but like, it reminded me of Pokemon Unite a little bit with the footage that they showed. It's like a 4v4 game. It doesn't look good. It was not what I wanted as a Crash game. I'm not buying it. It's not even coming to the Switch. It's also Activision, and I'm not buying any more Activision for right now. It's not what I wanted. It looks weird. It's different though, so I don't know. I don't think people are gonna care about that Crash game, and it's gonna sell bad, and then Activision's gonna be like, yeah, no more Crash or Spyro. It's done. We'll do more of that 20 years from now. So, I don't know. It's not even coming to the Switch, which is very surprising to me. I don't even know if it's a free game or if it's something you pay for, because this 4v4, I don't see people wanting to pay for that, but we'll see, we'll see. And then they had Final Fantasy 16. I'm sorry, I don't care about Final Fantasy 16. I've only played 7, so I'm not a Final Fantasy guy, but I know if I didn't talk about it, somebody was gonna be like, or mainly my editor. My editor was gonna be like, Max, why did you not talk about Final Fantasy? So I talked about it. It was there. It was the last game. Elden Ring won, and then we had the Bill Clinton kid. I still can't believe that happened. But Jeff, I think you did a wonderful job this year. I honestly am a big fan of this Game Awards. I think the announcements should have had more love, or not announcements, the awards should have been given a little bit more love. And I think you did better this year than you did last year when it comes to the awards. I think you did better with the announcements too. I feel like there was not as much CGI trailers compared to last year. There was still CGI this year, but I felt like we saw a lot more gameplay or cutscenes from the actual game using the PlayStation Engine, rather than, you know, just full-on CGI trailers of games that's not going to come out for 5 years from now. I think Jeff did a very good job this year, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what you did this year. So good job, Jeff. Looking forward to next year's Game Awards. I think this rates up there as one of the best. I don't know if it's the best. It was definitely one of their better shows. I feel like the last good Game Awards we've gotten was in 2018. I like 2020's Game Awards too. I'd give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. 8. I think 9's way too strong. 8 out of 10. Good job, Jeff. You know, I feel like there's this cool bond between us now since, you know, we had that one tweet and you probably don't even remember. So you're not even going to watch this video. By the way, guys, look at the tweet. This is the tweet that I had with Jeff Keighley. I actually responded to him today after the Game Awards. I was like, life comes at you fast, Jeff Keighley, because Xenoblade Chronicles didn't win a single award. It was nominated, but it didn't win a single award. So I'm talking for way too much, guys. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out my Twitter, check out my Discord, check out everything that's in the description below. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.